Do you recall that moment? As you counted out cash for another package of instant noodles, you stood in the dark light of your old apartment kitchen, the broken slats casting a shadow on the worn tabletop. Do you recall attempting to stretch your last $20 thinner than your own patience, with gnawing dread in the pit of your stomach as a regular companion? Those days, that version of you, suddenly seemed like a scene from a movie about someone else's life, a faraway memory that has died and vanished for forever. Welcome to your new world, which was inscribed in the stars long before your battle started. Your phone no longer displays the dreadful red of overdraft alerts. Instead, your notification bar lights up with deposit notifications that make you smile, a modest affirmation from the cosmos that everything has changed. The same individuals who marked your messages as read when you were down and out are now the first to see your story, their eyes wide with wonder and disbelief at your incredible recovery. But, to be honest, you're too busy counting commas and carrying out your holy vision to notice their quiet observation. When someone asks you for a favor these days, you don't have to check your financial balance. Instead, you consider if they are worthy of your valuable time. Your financial account is no longer merely surviving. It is booming. And the most astonishing aspect, the reality that will sink deep into your soul as you listen to this message from God Connection, is the unwavering belief that this is just the beginning. The first significant deposit reaches your account, and the crushing, suffocating weight of financial strain is lifted from your shoulders. It is much more than simply a number on a screen. It represents a seismic upheaval in your whole reality, a fundamental realignment of your life's course. You find yourself looking at that balance, your pulse hammering in your chest, as memories of scraping by, budgeting down to your last dollar, and continually, cruelly denying yourself the things you genuinely want fade away like a lost dream. This moment seems entirely unreal, as if the world has finally halted the havoc it has thrown at you and offered you a golden ticket, a pass to a life you could only have imagined. You have imagined this day, hoped for it, and worked for it, and now that it's here, it almost seems too wonderful to be true. The relief is so palpable, so genuine, that it seems as if a heavy, invisible chain you hadn't realized you were dragging behind you for years has suddenly snapped and plummeted to the floor with a tremendous clang of liberation. This deep revolution is about more than simply money. It is about unrestricted freedom. It marks the end of the duties, limits, and invisible bars that kept you in a rigorous survival mode for so long. For the first time in what seems like a lifetime, you can breathe fully, free of the continual, underlying strain of bills, obligations, and the crippling worry of running out. You recall every sacrifice, every late-night job, every chance you had to turn down, and every ambition you had to put on wait because you couldn't afford to take the risk. But suddenly those obstacles, those seemingly impassable walls, are gone. They have been completely dismantled. Finally, you can declare a resounding yes to the life you have always wanted for yourself. Whether it's exploring the globe at a moment's notice, launching that dream company, or just enjoying the deep peace of mind that comes with real, unshakable financial security. This new independence is about more than simply what you can purchase. It is about who you can finally be. And at this stunning, enlightening moment, you know that you were never intended to be broke. You were never designed to be stranded or to be always battling. This wealth was always part of your spiritual journey. Every hardship you had was not a punishment, but rather a type of intensive, divine preparation that shaped, molded, and strengthened you for the present time. Each failure, every sleepless night of uncertainty, and all those times you gazed up at the sky and wondered if you'd ever get a break were really leading you, step by step, toward this enormous breakthrough. Looking back, you may see that those hardships were never intended to be the conclusion of your tale. They were the furnace that shaped the basis of your unwavering perseverance. The deposit in your account is more than simply money. It is validation. It is live, breathing confirmation that you were always meant for something much higher. And now the cosmos is aligning to show you how strong you actually are. There is no longer guilt. No more quiet deaths from your fantasies. No more being drained by individuals who simply took. You've finally severed the cord for good. This is life-altering, generational riches. This is not a transient moment of luck, but rather a deep, resonating abundance that rewrites your whole family's narrative and leaves a legacy that will survive you. You can't help but think about your parents, grandparents, and previous generations. All the sacrifices they made, all the aspirations they put on hold in order to survive. You now have the holy ability to modify that story forever. This is more than a windfall. It is a cosmic energy transfer, causing a seismic change in the direction of your whole lineage. You are no longer merely surviving. You are establishing an empire, a future that will reverberate throughout history, offering security, opportunity, and freedom for all who follow you. In this deep, holy moment, you realize that your life and the lives of people you love will never be the same again. Financial independence is finally, irreversibly yours. Bills, debt, and paycheck-to-paycheck worry are all remnants of a previous existence. The never-ending stress, late-night worry, and continual dread of unanticipated bills are gone. You now wake up every morning with a feeling of tranquility you've never felt before, a calm that pervades your whole existence. Money is no longer a cause of worry, but rather a powerful resource that allows you to live your life completely on your own terms. Finally, you can concentrate on what's actually important: your interests, relationships, and greater purpose. The arduous grind of survival mode has been replaced with a life full of opportunity and wealth. Before we go further into the new laws of your reality, let's connect. This path of empowerment is precious, and if this word from God connection resonates with the truth in your spirit, take a moment to confirm it. Subscribe to this channel and enable alerts, because your ascent is only getting begun. This is your community, and if you feel prompted to plant a seed in this work, to assist us in spreading this light, please consider blessing our ministry with a $10 payment using the Super Thanks button located just below this video. Your contribution enables us to reach people all around the globe who need to hear that their struggle is not their destiny. Every act of giving supports this heavenly purpose. Now, let us proceed to create your new world. No more shackles masquerading as loyalty. There will be no more unseen contracts that you signed out of desperation. No more expertly devised traps that keep you tiny and controllable. You're done bearing the crushing weight of expectations that were never yours in the first place. The world may have attempted to persuade you that your freedom comes at a cost, that you must shrink, compromise, or give of yourself in order to be allowed permission to rise. But you've realized that your only genuine commitment is to your higher self and divine mission. That's the deal. That's the law. For far too long, you were tied by secret agreements, favors with hidden, soul-crushing costs, relationships founded on unsaid obligations, and the oppressive shame of feeling like you were either too much or never enough. But those days are past. Your generosity is no longer a currency for approval, and your compassion is no longer a leash that others might use. Now, when you give, it will be because you want to, from a place of true overflow, rather than because you are tricked or coerced into feeling you must. Your energy, time, and money are holy resources that you have complete control over. Your energy is now sacrosanct, and only those who genuinely respect it will have access to you. Those parasitic people who formerly relied on your self-sacrifice, who demanded your light but never gave their own, will feel the change quickly and powerfully. They'll label you selfish. They'll label you ungrateful. They will remark, "You've changed," in an accusatory tone. And they will be perfectly correct. Because you did. You have cut the old, poisonous relationships and stepped into a new, higher frequency in which your value is no longer subject to argument or negotiation, and your path is yours and yours alone to follow. This is the moment you totally regain yourself. And once you do, there's no going back. You do not owe anybody an explanation. You do not owe them validation. You do not owe them a single second of your valuable time. For far too long, society conditioned you to feel that your entire existence required justification, that you needed to show yourself worthy, justify your decisions, and twist yourself to make others happy with your achievement. But the reality is, if they were not there with you in the trenches of your hardships, they do not deserve a special place at your table of wealth today. You're done entertaining people who only come up when it's convenient and advantageous for them. The days of over-explaining, giving, and overextending oneself are officially and forever over. From point on, reciprocity is the only currency you accept. No more one-sided partnerships. There will be no more unending pouring into others while they take, without hesitation. Those that actually belong in your life will find you wherever you are. They will pour as much into you as you do into them. Anything less is merely a debt you no longer want to attempt to collect. This is not about being brutal. It is about being authentic. Real connection, support, and alignment. If someone cannot equal your work, respect, or loyalty, they do not deserve your presence. Now, your tranquility cannot be compromised. You've worked too hard, sacrificed too much, and developed too far to allow anybody to upset the precious equilibrium you've meticulously created inside yourself. You no longer accept foolishness, rudeness, and unbalance. This is your period. It's time to stand solid in your value, to treat your time, space, and energy as valuable resources. Allow someone to get confused if they demand more than they have earned. Allow them to drift away in their confusion. But don't explain. You don't owe them anything. And this is your actual power. Once upon a time, you felt compelled to soften your limits, to rationalize your decisions, to ensure that no one was bothered by your rejection. Not anymore. You've learned the harsh lesson that saying yes to others at the price of your own well-being is a quiet, agonizing betrayal of yourself. Now, you can say no with ease, clarity, and the calm, unshakable force of someone who has realized their own value. You used to feel guilty about having boundaries, preserving your time, and not being always accessible. However, as you matured, it became evident that individuals who genuinely appreciate you would always respect your limits without question. They were never meant to be for you in the first place. They flourished only when you had no boundaries, when your generosity was like an open, unprotected door rather than a closed, secured one. When you stopped being available on their terms, they showed their real colors. Let them. Your development cannot be negotiated. Saying no is not selfishness. It is a deep act of self-respect, a divine refusal to pour from an empty vessel. It's about choosing alignment over responsibility and genuine serenity over the feverish need to satisfy everyone around you. Everything changes once you start standing hard on it. You alter the energy that surrounds you. You begin to attract only those who respect your limits, who recognize that your time, presence, and energy are not due to anybody. They must be earned. You no longer feel guilty for saying no, putting yourself first, or prioritizing your own well-being. This is the authentic you, unwavering in your value and unapologetic. There is no greater power than being able to confidently say no while respecting your higher self. Even the air surrounding you appears to have a new weight and authority. People notice it right away. Some may gaze at you with renewed adoration, captivated by your increased energy and calm confidence. Others will gaze with apparent discomfort, frightened and intimidated by the tremendous limits you can now easily impose. That's because your own frequency has evolved so dramatically that you're no longer the version of yourself they were used to manipulating. And this transition makes them very anxious. Some will congratulate your progress, appreciating the tremendous amount of hard work and effort required to reach this level. Others may discreetly dislike it, wishing you had stayed where they felt most at ease, where your blazing light did not disrupt their comfy shadows. You must recognize and accept that not everyone is intended to climb with you. Elevation nearly usually leads to separation, and that is the price of completely embracing your authority. Unfortunately, you are no longer as available as you once were. Those who only understood how to connect with you via your struggle are suddenly perplexed, since struggle is no longer your language. These are the folks who felt strong while you needed rescue, and they profited from you acting small or doubting your value. You are now grounded in assurance, affluence, and profound self-esteem, and those old, destructive dynamics can no longer affect you. They may claim you've changed, but what they truly mean is that they can no longer control or define you. And that is precisely how things should be. Wealth did not alter who you are. Rather, it showed the reality of who you had always been underneath the fight. It revealed who was real and who was merely there for your convenience, ease of access, and control. Some individuals welcomed your victories, but only as long as they didn't outweigh their own. Some welcomed your success until it distinguished you, when your tale no longer served as a comforting mirror for their own. But now you can see them clearly and move differently. You don't seek anyone's approval. You do not explain your decisions. And you never, ever reduce yourself to make someone else feel better. Your energy speaks for itself, and those who cannot match your frequency will naturally fade away. They weren't supposed to remain for the next chapter of your life. Remember when every dime seemed to slip through your fingers? Those evenings spent wide awake, your thoughts racing, worrying about outstanding bills. What about the doubt and remorse that accompanied each purchase? The never-ending, arduous calculations in your head. Can I afford it? Do I have enough? What if something unexpected occurs? That version of you was conditioned by survival mode, and the environment taught you that struggle and shortage were a normal, unchanging way of life. But that age is past. You have clearly broken the cycle. The old habits of dread, deprivation, and a stressful push-and-pull relationship with money no longer describe you. You've stepped into something considerably larger, something unshakable, since you can now trust yourself with money. You no longer see money as something delicate that may be taken away from you at any time. You've overcome your fear of losing everything because you realize on a deep, soul level that genuine riches is more than simply numbers on a screen. It is a state of mind, a vibration that reflects your inner resonance with the universe's unlimited riches. Wealth, in its purest sense, goes much beyond the numbers in your bank account. It's a live, breathing force, a strong attitude, and an unconscious command emanating from your very center. Now you are the master of this energy. You no longer work from a state of scarcity or despair. You do not beg for plenty or pursue it furiously. Instead, plenty is pulled to you by the conviction and power you exude. It flows through you as if you were born to channel it, because you have repeatedly shown that you can manage it with dignity, purpose, and grace. You appreciate the flow of riches and recognize its holiness, but you never kneel down in terror. This fundamental change distinguishes between who you were and who you have become. The past, with its tangled web of limiting ideas, cultural conditioning, and generational poverty programming, no longer has any influence over you. The negative beliefs that formerly ringed your mind, stories that declared you were destined to suffer, that scarcity was unavoidable, and that success belonged to others, have entirely vanished. You are no longer the person who meekly takes adversity as a given. You have intentionally redefined what is possible, both for yourself and for everyone who will follow in your footsteps. You've transformed your life story from one of scarcity and survival to one of limitless potential and growth. Where formerly there were simply locked doors, you now see majestic gates waiting for you to go through. The most thrilling realization is that this is just the beginning. When you break the old pattern of struggle, there is no need to return. There is only a driving, magnetic need to go onward, to rise even higher, and to experience more of what life has to offer. This new life is all you envisaged in your quietest times of yearning, when you allowed yourself to wish for more. Your passport pages are now filled with stamps from destinations you previously only dreamed of visiting. Beautiful ocean views become the regular panorama outside your window. The extraordinary pleasure of waking up in a foreign nation just because your soul craves adventure has become the natural rhythm of your existence. International travel is no longer a faraway dream. It is your new reality, effortlessly integrated into the fabric of your incredible tale. You go through airports and across borders with a feeling of comfort and belonging, unburdened by financial worries or the weight of what others believe you deserve. The world, with its mysteries and hidden riches, is now yours to discover. You've bravely entered a world where first-class flights, five-star resorts, and gorgeous, soul-nourishing places are more than just luxuries. They are your standard, a direct result of your resolve to never longer accept anything less than outstanding. With this vast freedom comes an even deeper release. The liberation from the shame and trepidation that formerly dogged every single choice you made for yourself. You no longer wonder whether it's appropriate to invest in your health, development, or peace of mind. There is no hesitancy in feeding your body high-quality, organic food, relaxing deeply when necessary, or prioritizing your well-being. The old, poisonous narrative that suffering is somehow noble, that pleasure and comfort must be painstakingly won, is something you have entirely rejected. You now realize that self-care is not a luxury saved for exceptional occasions. It is your inherent right. You eat healthily because your body deserves to be treated as the temple that it is. You relax comfortably because your mind and soul are in harmony. You go through life with a natural confidence and freedom to enjoy, celebrate, and receive. This is neither excess nor selfishness. It's an alignment. It's you finally living as your higher self, refusing to apologize for seeking and demanding what's right. The version of you who felt that pleasure always came at a hefty cost, that comfort could only be obtained through pain, is no longer with us. You've realized that you were never supposed to merely get by or fit into a life that wasn't meant for you to be great. You've stopped looking for the cheapest choice out of fear and now choose just enough to avoid criticism or condemnation. Instead, you respect quality. You crave plenty. And you are deeply grateful for every instant of ease and upgrade you let into your existence. Survival mode is a permanently closed chapter. The new standard is to thrive, feel comfortable, liberated, and totally alive. Every pleasurable event, new adventure, and display of ease and grace demonstrates your desire to accept your new reality. Great riches, as you now see, is more than simply money. It is about freedom on every possible level. It is the freedom to wake up every day without concern, to pursue every passion that appeals to your heart, to generously support the people and causes you care about, and to invest in memories, development, and legacy. It is a wonderful gift to know that you have options, to feel secure and supported by the life you have painstakingly created, and to see unlimited possibilities wherever you turn. True prosperity allows you to broaden your perspective, give from a position of true plenty, and inspire others just by living truthfully and joyously. You are now living evidence that abundance is a condition of being, one that spreads, altering not just your own life, but also the lives of others around you. And this is only the beginning of what is possible when you take your proper position as the creator of your own riches. True wealth is about power, not just numbers on a screen. And true power comes with great responsibility. You've learned through hard experience that safeguarding your riches is inextricably linked to protecting your energy, time, attention, and, most importantly, your inner calm. You've discovered that confusion is the enemy of plenty. It distracts, drains, and depletes the very resources you have worked so hard to accumulate. That is why you no longer accept chaos or disarray in your life. You have become more attentive, carefully selecting who you let into your inner circle. The days of leaving your doors wide open for energy leeches, opportunists, or folks who only came by when they needed something from you are gone forever. Your resources, both financial and spiritual, are now guarded with the same fervor and discernment as the rarest of jewels, because you now grasp their holy significance. You've grown more conscious about every element of your life, realizing that genuine abundance thrives only when there's order, clarity, and solid, recognized limits. People who formerly took your goodwill for granted, who anticipated your generosity but never returned it, who clung to you in your struggle but fled as soon as you began to climb, no longer sat at your table. You can now see through the superficial charm and concealed entitlement. You are smart enough to see the difference between open hands and open hearts. Your circle has shrunk, but each link inside it is stronger, more authentic, and really reciprocal. You donate, but only to those who recognize the need of fair trade. You only commit your time, energy, and resources where they are valued and recognized. There is no more shame or feeling of responsibility weighing you down, simply a deep sense of clarity and purpose. Your money is no longer about theatrics, power, or demonstrating your value to the world. You do not spend money to impress or purchase affirmation. Every choice, every dollar spent or invested, is done with the future in mind, to develop, safeguard, and create a life of stability, pleasure, and long-term legacy. You have become strategic, realizing that your riches, power, and energy are not only for you. They are for those who will follow you. Every adversity you faced, every scar and failure, every moment of agony or uncertainty has been transformed into insight, strategy, and a deep reservoir of unbreakable power. Nothing was squandered, not a single tear, not a single lonely night. There was no single danger or leap of faith that left you breathless with uncertainty. Every difficulty served as a stepping stone, a lesson to strengthen your determination and improve your vision. You were never supposed to be in battle. You were destined to rise from it, lifting others with you. You are now in the midst of a life you could only have imagined before. But make no mistake, this was never chance. This was never a giveaway. What you've created is the direct consequence of discipline, vision, faith, and an unwavering dedication to your finest self. Many people won't comprehend how you achieved it. Some may gossip, criticize, or condemn because they only see the end product and not the sacrifice or road. They did not witness the long nights, the quiet prayers, or the occasions when faith had to be chosen above fear. But you knew this day would come because you envisioned it in your head and heart long before anybody else did. While others waited for a green light or a guarantee, you were out there taking risks, believing your instincts, and betting on yourself when no one else did. That's the difference. That is why your presence has changed. You now walk with calm authority and an energy that cannot be faked or decreased. You don't move like the ordinary person because you aren't one. You no longer think small, wait for acceptance, or conform to someone else's comfort zone. You make no apologies for your ambition, abundance, or high expectations. Your life is no longer a negotiation. Rather, it is a proclamation. You're done with the restrictions designed to keep people secure in their mediocrity. You now make your own rules and set an example for others. The previous identity, one marked by uncertainty, hesitancy, and smallness, was required for your trip, but it has no place in your future. And this is not the end. This is not your pinnacle of accomplishment. It just lays the groundwork for what comes next. You did not break away from cycles of effort, anxiety, and lack in order to coast or rest on your achievements. You didn't go through restless nights and risk everything for a little more comfort. This moment, this level of achievement and growth, is not your ultimate goal. It's your launchpad. From here, you make every choice with the realization that you are creating not just your own life, but also the legacy of future generations. Your success is defined by dominion, stewardship, and legacy, not transient indulgences. You don't just amass riches. You guide, multiply, and instill it with divine purpose. You are creating something that will outlive you, an energy that will spread through time, boosting people and changing lives far beyond yours. That is why every action you do today is deliberate, unyielding, and guarded against people who do not belong in your circle. Scarcity, grinding, and concern are vestiges of a past you have completely surpassed. You are now in the smooth flow of plenty, where force has been replaced by ease and fear by confidence. The old you, the one who questioned their value, denied their vision, and played small to avoid being noticed, has gone. That version of yourself was critical to your development, but your future requires a higher degree of confidence, accuracy, and trust. You now manage life with the authority of someone who understands precisely what they have constructed and is certain that it is sturdy and long-lasting. So tell your truth. Leave a comment below and let us know. What impact has this transition had on your self-image? How has stepping into your power changed your perspective, relationships, and sense of what is possible? Allow the world to watch your progress in real time, so that others who are still looking for hope may understand what is possible when you refuse to settle and dare to climb. Your path demonstrates that anybody can break the pattern, choose plenty, and walk into a destiny of greatness. This is the legacy you are creating: one choice, one boundary, and one daring leap of faith at a time. That's all for today. Let's pray. Dear Father, I pray for the ongoing development of my faith and ability to accept. Help me to fully believe you, even when tangible proof is missing. Allow me to trust in your eternal presence, knowing you will never hurt me or lead me wrong. I comprehend and proclaim that your thoughts for me are ones of wealth, riches, and serenity, resulting in an anticipated and magnificent outcome. Thank you, kind and everlasting Father, for always hearing my voice and organizing my victorious return. In Jesus' great name, I give you this prayer of thankfulness. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and unending provision. I am thankful for your guiding presence in my life and the ever-increasing riches you provide. If this message from God Connection spoke to you profoundly, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others who need to hear this powerful message of hope and change. Leave a comment below about your personal path and how you plan to triumphantly return to your genuine, bountiful self. If you want to support our work and help us continue to provide material that inspires and empowers, please consider clicking the Super Thanks button below this video. No present is too tiny. Whether it's a penny, a prayer, a share, or a contribution, your generosity helps spread God's message and provide hope to people all over the world. Do not stop here. Watch our next video for additional amazing insights into the indications that indicate you are the chosen one. We've appreciated sharing this profound, spiritual trip with you. Thank you for sticking with us until the finish. Keep shining brightly and face your great destiny with confidence. We'll see you next time. God Connection sends blessings to all lovely, bountiful beings.